So yeah, thank you everyone for joining today's call. My name is Scott Aldridge. You will receive the invite from me, and I work for Primetel. Primetel are trusted advisors to organizations that are looking to make a change in technology. And as I'm sure you can imagine, over the last sort of 5 to 6 months, we've been heavily focused around unified communications, collaboration tools, and specifically hosted telephony. The environment we're finding ourselves in at the moment is really, putting onus on companies to look at how they collaborate, communicate over the wide area network, allowing for remote working, home working, and various related tools. And so we act as kind of a go-between. We help companies either investigate what it is they're trying to do, help them build a solution, in some instances work on the tender writing, but really where we add value is through the supply selection and evaluation process. We leverage our experience, which between me and my business partner Paul is roughly 50 years. We not only leverage that experience, but we leverage our past work to drive commercial advantage and ultimately speed up the selection process. And that's kind of the ethos of today, was to help companies that are on the journey of perhaps reviewing their phone system, collaboration tools, give them a platform to come and see 3 providers in one session. There's lots of providers out there in the market. They all have their own nuances, skills, benefits, USPs, however you want to call it. So, the purpose of today was to showcase 3 providers in one, so that you can maximize your time. Today we'll be hearing from Vonage. Vonage are a well-established player. They cater for businesses of all sizes, platform based on their own intellectual property. We'll also be hearing from Avaya Cloud Office, surprisingly one of the newest entries into the cloud space, but as most of you will probably know, one of the longest standing providers out there. And then last but not least, we'll be hearing from Russell at Dialpad. Dialpad are currently visionaries in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, but soon to be leaders, I'm told, in the next edition. So definitely one worth considering should you be looking to make a change. What we'll do, I'll hand over to Vonage and Adam, if you want to kind of run through your proposition first.
Absolutely. Just bear me 1 second. I'll share screen. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see that and also hear me.
Yep, all good.
Yep, all good. Okay, so thank you very much, Scott. Thank you, Primetel, for hosting this session. So hello, everyone. I hope everyone is safe and well. So my name is Adam Wilson from Vonage, responsible for our channel business across Europe, Middle East, and Africa, based near Oxford. So I'm joined today by my colleagues, Julian and Mark, from the Vonage sales engineering team that you'll hear from later. As we emerge from lockdown, life is slowly starting again. It's still, though, a time of immense uncertainty for everyone. The sad part, of course, of this pandemic and resulting lockdown that we've been through is the uneven impact it's had on people. Some are worse off and some might be better off. And at Vonage, we're a business that provides remote working software. We've been busy over the last 6 months helping our customers bring communications, collaboration, and even contact centers into the home. So what we're seeing now is businesses recouping money lost from lockdown and reevaluating their workforce. I believe now more than ever is the time for businesses to invest in technology, evaluate business process and customer experience. Now is the time to put measures in place to ensure businesses thrive, not just survive. So Vonage today is a B2B focused cloud communications company of 2,400 people with 36 locations around the world and 500 staff in the UK. We were founded in 2001 as a joint pioneer of voice over IP, initially providing broadband voice to the home and small business sectors in the US, and we popped up with the same proposition in the UK in 2005. In 2013, we made a very conscious decision to focus the entirety of our business focus on the B2B sector, and we've spent the last 7 years acquiring 9 companies, developing the world's most flexible cloud communications platform and rebranding the company on that premise in March this year. So Vonage is now able to provide unified communications and collaboration, CRM-led contact centers, and communication APIs, or what we sometimes refer to as a single communication stack proposition, as this addresses a broad range of enterprise requirements in the domain of communications. It's worth noting that we also fully own the technology we provide to our customers. On this basis, a business can start their journey with Vonage by addressing the customer contact use case, leveraging the single source of truth, that being the customer intelligence that lives in the CRM, or they can use our APIs to enable their consumer-based apps to communicate with the users of those applications. Or as we'll discuss today, businesses can address comms and collaboration between employees as a starting point in their journey. And as we know, this area has become hugely relevant at a time of greatly increased remote working. In terms of industry recognition, just to touch on this briefly, we've recently been recognized by G2 in their spring results as a leader in unified communications and voice over IP. Also, Frost & Sullivan recognized Vonage as an innovation leader for hosted IP telephony and unified communications as a service. And it's worth also noting that we've been a leader in the Gartner Quadrant for contact centers in Western Europe for the last 4 years. We're also rated #1 in the Salesforce App Exchange for our contact center, as it has the best and the market-leading integration into the Salesforce CRM platform. We're also bringing the same level of integration into Microsoft Dynamics and ServiceNow. So here's a recent quote that very much resonated with me in the current climate, and I hope it sets the tone for the rest of the presentation. Remote working is truly successful when it allows customers to engage seamlessly with companies, regardless of where employees are physically located. Surely that's the point in time when we can say the remote working works. Of course, the well-being of our people is absolutely more important, but this certainly resonates with me in the scope of remote working, the remote working world we're now living in. Whilst e-commerce and digital engagement with companies was already on the rise in our society, COVID-19 turbocharged this trend. Consumers are wary of exposure to the virus and want to get more things done digitally. This has always been the case with millennials and Generation Z, for example, but COVID-19 forced older demographics who are even more concerned about the virus to go digital. So combine this with the fact that we as employees for our companies are working from home, and it undoubtedly asks questions about the infrastructure we have in place and what we need in the future to thrive. So the two main use cases here we're talking about is employees communicating and collaborating across multiple locations, remote locations, and secondly, the need for companies to serve customers and customers to be able to contact companies. And of course, today we're talking about the former more so than the latter, but Vonage offers both use cases from our single platform approach. So at Vonage, we believe there are probably 4 or 5 essential tools for increasing remote productivity. Chat apps allowing remote workers to have on-the-fly conversations similar to those they'd have in the office. Video conferencing using video chat and web software, so telecommuters can get as close as possible to the rest of the team without actually being in the same room. Flexible phone services, so it's essential for business phone systems to allow employees to integrate mobile apps that we all use in our business today to increase productivity and communications. And also tools such as screen sharing. So with a screen sharing app, you can share the screen with as many co-workers as you need. That, of course, is essential to make this collaboration concept truly work. So Vonage offers these capabilities from our unified communications and collaboration solution, which is called Vonage Business Communications, or VBC for short. VBC is an enterprise-grade cloud system with 40+ calling features. We're providing VBC to businesses of less than 10 users, all the way up to more than 10,000 users. And in fact, we recently won a 10,000 user contract with a brand of coffee shops. We see being mobile first as a priority, as one of the key benefits of communications in the cloud is enabling your employees to work from anywhere. Not only is VBC a mobile first offering, but it offers omni-channel experience for your staff, meaning that it's a single place for employees to activate a conversation across multiple communication channels, be it calling, messaging, or video conferencing. VBC offers this capability from a single user interface, providing consistency across our mobile app or our desktop app. Obviously, we provide both. Other useful features include voicemail transcription to text and delivering that to email, also call recording, not just audio, but also recording our Vonage meetings, including screen share and video. And in terms of our packages we offer for VBC, our premium package offers unlimited calling to UK landlines and mobiles, for example, and we offer a bolt-on for 32 international locations as well. So Vonage Meetings. Vonage Meetings is actually the latest in a series of innovations from Vonage Business Communications, actually launched on the 1st of May. So this enhances our unified comms offering at no additional cost to the licenses that our customers pay. It's a comprehensive video and audio conferencing solution with a dial-in, share screen capabilities as mentioned, and it's accessible from the VBC app that, as I mentioned, you can access on the desktop or indeed on your mobile device across multiple browsers as well. And actually, no need to download and execute a piece of software to use that. It starts up immediately from the link that you provide to either to your colleagues or to your customers. Vonage Meetings supports up to 100 attendees. And of course, we provide those call recording capabilities as well, so you can run one-to-one or team meetings on Vonage Meetings and screen share. In terms of integration, something I touched on just now, we're also able to enhance the unified comms experience by providing built-in integrations with those mission-critical business applications, such as CRM platforms that are becoming increasingly important in the business and, of course, the enterprise space as a single source of truth for customer data and customer intelligence. This makes it easy to capture business intelligence, giving inside sales, for example, quick access to the information they need, in addition to the wide options we provide in terms of how they can communicate and collaborate with customers. We place heavy emphasis on integrations. We actually have a separate product management team focusing on the integrations we provide from BBC and also our contact center. So I'm just going to pass across now to my sales engineering team to take you through the next few slides, and before I finish up with a couple of slides at the end. So over to Julian and Mark for a quick few slides to take us through some of the more technical aspects of the product here.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so as Adam has described, we've got this product called VGIP, Vonage Integration Platform. So effectively what that allows us to do is not only provide a excellent cloud-based PBX platform, but also the ability to integrate with the CRM packages shown on the slide. So for example, Salesforce we can integrate with, we can do things like screen popping, we can allow the user to take notes, dictate notes using speech to text, and also we can tell the system what object within Salesforce you want to pop when you're taking a call. So that might be entering a new contact, for example, creating a new case. So very flexible, easy to use, and it's very easy to install. It's just a case of downloading a browser extension. So it's a really excellent way to kind of supercharge your CRM packages. Adam, yeah, to move on to the next slide. Thank you. And also, as part of VBC, we have the admin portal as well. So the admin portal, you would typically set this up for, a handful of users within your organization, but it effectively allows them to create new users, set up and configure call recording. You can set up and configure groups. So if you've got let's say an HR department within your organization and they have a single number and you want those calls to go through to a group of people, you can set features like that up. You have call queuing facilities, IVR menu, press 1 for sales, 2 for accounts, that type of thing, facilities as well. So it's really 100% self-service portal that lets you configure and change whatever you like within VBC and do things like add and delete users very, very quickly and very easily. So with that, I will hand over to Mark, who's going to take us through the next slide.
How are you doing, guys? Yeah. So basically, the next slide, we're talking about integration with Teams. So as you're probably aware, Microsoft have been on a journey to move everyone to O365 over the past couple of years. So what we've enabled at Vonage is an integration to help build on them aspects, because there's a lot of users. I don't know if you've all seen the adverts, but there's quite a lot of users using Teams. So Microsoft can be quite expensive to do the call charges and the routing. So what we've actually done is we've enabled a Teams integration that allows you to click to call within Teams or any Office application, make and receive phone calls via the soft phone across all your Teams devices, enable presence while on call, call control, call history, voicemail to email, and call recording are all capabilities within our integration. So if you've got a Teams installed and you're just using it for collaboration or just messaging, to add the phone system on is quite expensive from Microsoft. So we can enable that with our integration. Next one. Yeah, so thanks, Adam. Yeah, so this one really is going back onto what Adam's previously spoke about, our two core products. We've got our VBC and our VCC, and what we're finding is a lot of customers want a truly unified solution between front office and the contact center. And not a lot of vendors can provide this currently. So this is like one of our strong points, where we've now developed something called single pane of glass, which enables you to have a single corporate directory between the front office, the back office. You've got no call charges between the back office and the contact center again. And it's just really enabling a better customer experience, and it's enabling a better agent experience, because they can transfer the calls seamlessly between the two contact centers and the actual back office PBX. So yeah, that's a really good one. For us, we call it single pane of glass. So I think the next slide, Adam, I think it's back over to you.
Yeah, and Adam, there's just a question in the chat just around PCI compliance. So we do absolutely provide and cater for PCI compliance. So if you've got a call coming in, we have a PCI compliance product which effectively allows the agent to keep the call in play, and they can see the transaction unfolding on their screen, obviously without the credit card details appearing before them. But obviously it does things like stop the call recording. But we can do that in a standalone environment, or we can do that as part of the Salesforce integration. So we work with a company called PCI PAL, and we've absolutely got that product covered off. So if you've got people working from home, it's absolutely something we could cater for. Sorry, Adam, to barge in.
No, thank you. Thanks, Julian, very much. Okay, so just to finish off, as I'm conscious of time, so just wanted to give you a view also as to how rapidly we can deploy our solutions. In this example, this was during the lockdown period. We worked with a law firm who needed to sort of go remote overnight, as many of us, of course, had to, work from home at very short notice, of course. So on the Monday morning, we ran the demo, delivered the quote by the afternoon, which was immediately signed in this case. The implementation team deployed a public cloud-based application for them, of course, based on our technology and our public cloud platform. And but in the evening, our implementation team were busy doing that. By Tuesday morning, in this particular example, this customer was up and running with a service. So that really is the power of the public cloud as a means of deploying a communications use case for a customer. And the only prerequisite really was an internet connection with sufficient bandwidth. And of course, the internet connection can also be made more resilient with some additional capabilities we have here at Vonage based on what we call Smart WAN, which uses software-defined capabilities to increase the resilience of the access into the cloud. So coming close to the end now, and indeed this is the last slide, I wanted to just let you know of one quotation we're allowed to use publicly and externally on webinars such as this. And this is from a customer of ours, Park Dean Resorts. So a customer today who uses both our unified communications offering VBC and our contact center, Vonage Contact Center, and enjoys the fact that staff can maintain productivity whilst working from home. So as I said, truly bringing collaboration, communications and contact center into the home for Park Dean, who are a company that own and operate 67 holiday parks across England, Scotland and Wales, and in fact therefore are the largest holiday park operator, and conscious some of us might have used in the past. So that's one customer testimonial that we can certainly talk about. And indeed, if you would like to learn more about other customers that we're able to talk about publicly. Over the lockdown period we really ramped up our YouTube channel, and indeed our testimonials on our public web page. So I would recommend going there to find out more, or indeed contacting us through Primetel. And that concludes my presentation for today. So hopefully everyone found that useful, and please let me know if you've got questions.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Adam. That was really good. So I'll just open it up to questions. So anyone got any questions around that? If so, take yourself off mute and ask away. Feel free to raise questions in the chat at any time, or yeah, contact me afterwards. But yeah, thank you, Adam. That was really good. You know, we as Primetel have worked with Vonage on a number of products, a number of deployments. You know, we see them as a key partner. They've got great skills in integration, specifically around Salesforce. You know, working with companies of all sizes. The fact that they own their own intellectual property allows them to be adaptive and creative, and you know, they really come into their own in terms of customer services and delivery. So definitely one to consider should you be looking to make a change. So next we'll move on to Avaya and their long-awaited Cloud Office proposition. You might need to take yourself off mute, whoever's presenting.
Sorry, headset problems. Hopefully you can hear me now, Scott.
Yep, we can hear you. Yeah, I can't see your screen though. Yeah.
Right, I'm just about to reshare. I just had to come off it.
Yep.
Hopefully you can see it now.
Yep. Going to share mode. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just saying before I realised nobody could hear me, great presentation from Vonage, and a lot to live up to, so hopefully I can live up to the expectation. So just wanted to give everybody a touch point. Scott mentioned in the introduction that we are probably the newest player to the UCaaS market that's on the call today. But one thing that I just wanted to talk around is the legacy, the history that Avaya bring to the UCaaS play. We've been providing UC, CC solutions for over 30 years globally. We're still seen as the leader for UC and CC solutions. We're providing services and solutions into both private and hybrid cloud solutions with an extensive partner ecosystem. So people like Primetel delivering the services, the solutions that we've been famous for selling. And we actually made inroads into the cloud space over the years. We had private cloud services that were being offered, but one area that we did struggle in was in the public UCaaS space. And back in October last year, we announced that we were doing a partnership with RingCentral. RingCentral, if you're on the corner, you don't know who they are the leading player in that UCaaS place. True global partner, where we can provide services in 148 countries. And we decided to partner with them, not just take the product. There's a lot of misconception that we have just taken the RingCentral and offering that as a service. We're actually delivering the solution alongside RingCentral. It's a true Avaya Cloud Office solution, and I'll run through in more detail what I mean as we go through the presentation on that. Why did RingCentral want to do the relationship with us? This slide here sums it up in a nutshell. There is 400 million UC seats installed globally, where within Avaya, we own and have installed 100 million of that. And the largest UCaaS provider has delivered 2 million seats. Still very new, but we're expecting this to grow in the 30–40% a quarter, people moving from on-prem into cloud, into true cloud as well. We're also one of the leaders with looking after over 90% of the Fortune 100 companies. And if I give you some examples of where we are, we launched this product in the UK July 1st this year. One of the first deals I was involved with, we actually closed on May the 8th pre-install, and it was to enable 4,000 users by 5 o'clock on the Saturday evening. 8th of May, if you remember, was a bank holiday in the UK. By 5 o'clock on the Saturday evening, we had 4,000 users up and running. By Monday evening, we had another 8,000. We finished with 21,000 up and running within a week. In the Avaya old world, we'd have struggled to do that. With our new cloud solution, we delivered it, customers very happy, and running the solution to this day. So what is Avaya Cloud Office? There's a lot of conversations, a lot of thoughts that email's easy, collaboration's difficult. And a lot of customers that I've been speaking to over the last few months with the lockdown, email we've used for 20 plus years. When it comes to collaboration, a lot of businesses out there use different tools for collaboration. One I spoke to earlier on last week used up to 30 tools, and you have different teams using things like WhatsApp, FaceTime, really social media type tools to run a corporate business. What we're looking to do with the true UCaaS service, which ours is where we offer message, meet and call, is being able to consolidate everything down into a single app, making it available for use for whatever device or any device in any location. So one of the important things for us is still a phone system. Within Avaya, we focus for telephony, whether that's IP telephony, even further back, digital analog telephony, contact center. We still offer a true enterprise class telephony platform. We guarantee SLAs of 5 nines reliability with service credits due if we fail to hit that, with a guaranteed MOS score of 3.8, an average quality score that is, if you're unaware what a MOS score is. But we also provide things that it's a single number each, so whatever device, whatever platform I'm using, I can log on to anybody's machine, fully encrypted, fully secure, and be able to work, whether that's message or call. It's all calls are synchronized across all devices. So everything I do on one device is available on another device, available to flip the call between one device and another. If I need to go out the office, I can flip the call to my mobile, walk out without the person knowing that I'm speaking to, though I've flipped the call. And a single voicemail box. We still talk about telephony features, but voicemail is still important. If you can't take that voice message, being able to take it, and standard speech text transcription as part of the solution as well. And conversations are becoming more than just voice, especially with the millennials joining businesses today. I have a 21-year-old son, and if I ask him to pick up the phone and speak to somebody, he hates it. If he gets on text, he's quite happy to that. But being able to do that, being able to communicate with people within the organisation, or even to guests that you've invited across to these chat groups that you've got access to within the Avaya Cloud Office portfolio, but then being able to escalate to a voice or a video. We've even built it because we've got that voice legacy that we can send and receive faxes. It's becoming less and less relevant, but believe me, people still use it, people still access. We responded back to an IFP last week, and that was one of the key points that they required. Can we do faxes? And yes, faxes can be sent from any device, the same as a voice or a chat. And video conferencing. We're actually talking on the Ring Central Office video today. The Avaya Cloud Office shares all the same capabilities of what you can see on this demonstration today. We have live desktop share. You've seen me doing that, being able to share and record the conference. I believe, Scott, you're recording this conference today to share later on. And those can be shared direct from the application that you use as an end user. They are delivered there just after the call finishes. And complete integrated task management, where you can actually create things for people to do during that conference call. Being able to create tasks for after the call and then revisit as we work through the tasks that are expected for the teams and the individuals to do within the business. And one thing that's really important to me, having all these great tools, all the great applications available, is being able to measure and being able to live up to the quality that we say that we can deliver. And part of the solution standard, we provide a very in-depth analytics tool where we can identify any root causes of problems. And personally, I've been working from home since February, using this application, and I do get iffy calls is probably the politest way of putting it. But at least having the analytics, I can drill down why that is happening. I live in a rural part of England. I've had children at home streaming Netflix, and I can see who the ISP is, why that call's happening, why those issues happen, either on a live or after the event. And you can drill down into very granular detail. But we can also run the analytics for the adoption of the solution. It's great having a solution like this, but if people aren't using the video, the chat, the calling, why not? Is it training? Is it help they need? But we can actually work with you as an organisation and make recommendations, whether it's training, end user training. We have videos available to show people how simple the things are, but making sure you get the most out of the solution. And all these analytics can be customised. They can be available for you. So if there's issues, we can email them out to tell you there's an issue. If there's a report from the cradle to grave reporting of calls and videos, we can set those up to be scheduled and emailed hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, however you want to do it. And all this information is available from anywhere, any device. And we've heard this mentioned before, but integrations, this is becoming more key. So being able to build anything and integrate with everything. Out of the box, we have 250 plus pre-built integrations. All the major CRM companies we can integrate with. People like Salesforce, Dynamics, Zendesk, TalkDesk, Bullhorn. The list is pretty much endless. And those are included as part of our license costs. There's no additional fee. And if I take the Salesforce integration, we enable things like ScreenPop, click to call, click to video direct from the Salesforce integration, taking our video conferencing details of the call and embedding those into the Salesforce opportunity or customer details that you're storing within that CRM solution. And we've also got, because it's a complete open API architecture, all our APIs, all our features, functions, everything that you can see throughout a demo or when you use the solution, you can take those APIs and build them into your own applications. Whether that's HTML application or a thick client application, you can take those. And we've got over 20,000 plus open APIs that you can take as a DevOps team or work with a partner like Primetel who could build those applications for you. And we get over 7.5 billion monthly API requests from our end users where they're actually doing what I've just said we can do. And why Avaya? We get asked this question a lot. Why not just go to Ring Central? But we're actually developing some major USPs to the solution. Things like the Avaya telephony features. We've got a lot of customers out there. You saw 100 million UC seats that are currently available that we can go over and help that customer move to a UCaaS solution. But they've got features and functions that they have got to use over the years, got to rely on. And we're actually replicating those features on this public UCaaS cloud service. And we're also developing migration tools to mitigate the risk. So if you're a current Avaya user, you can take your Avaya on-premise estate and use the migration tools and minimize the risk of things being missed. If you use features, functions, hunt groups, we make sure that those are copied across and are successful as part of the deployment. We also guarantee that every customer gets a designated customer success manager. So during the sales cycle, you get introduced to a CSM, and they stay with you as an account all the way through the life of that, as you being a customer of Avaya's. What they do is making sure things like the implementation services, the number porting, any adoption, making sure they report back of any issues, any challenges that you get, and making sure that we're completely open and transparent with you. And a single vendor of choice as well. It was mentioned on the previous call, but we can offer our CCaaS service as well as UCaaS service along with this solution. And via handset support, we support the full range of devices that we've currently, the latest devices we've got. And that's me finished on a presentation. And one thing that I just wanted to show you was the actual application that we use for Avaya Cloud Office. So if I just share my screen again. And the Avaya Cloud Office app is very simple, very intuitive to use. As you, hopefully you can still see my screen. I'm on Do Not Disturb at the moment because I don't want to be interrupted during this presentation. But it's very easy for the end users to see. And this looks and feels the same, whatever device, whether it's an iPad, an iPhone, a desktop, or direct through the web. And if we just start on the left-hand side, split the area out, we start off with message, meet, and call. You can see here, if I just move from left to right, this is my messages. The first thing I always do in the morning, we've actually brought some of the social media aspects into our solution as well. So if somebody wants to send me a direct message, they put @David Burrows. I come in the morning, go into my app messages, have a look at anything that's happened overnight, and then I can just go into the view conversation, respond back, or read it if that's all that's necessary. We also have full document sharing available from here. and it's unlimited storage, so you can update documents. So if I've got messages that I want to bookmark, that I want to be able to find quickly, I just bookmark them and they become available for me to find and reuse, resend. And like I say, because this is available from any device, if I'm on the train or traveling anywhere, these documents are still available for me. Then it's just split down a bit further with all my instant message, my chats. So down here, I've got Teams and I've got direct messages. Direct messages can be one-to-many. Teams can also be, one-to-one or one-to-many. And my Teams can be one-to-one or one-to-many as well. One of the major differences is, if I create a team, I can invite people to it. They see the full history. If I have a direct message, invite somebody else in, it creates a new direct message. From the video element, as we're talking here, the way I joined this call was jump on this client, hit the join button. Fully integrated into both Office 365 and Google. I actually use this integrated into both calendars. Office 365 is my work calendar. Google is my personal life calendar. But from here, I can schedule a call, schedule a meeting, join a call, start a meeting. Also, I mentioned all recordings. So if this meeting recording gets shared with me after this, it would show underneath this tab, shared meetings, which I can then replay, download, or share on again. Next thing is voice. This is where, say, it's shared across all devices. I can see all calls, all missed calls, any call recordings I've got. So we offer call recording as part of the platform. We can either have it set up as ad hoc, where you choose if you record the call, or bulk recording, where we record every call, whether that's inbound, outbound, or internal. We also have the voicemails tab, and this is where I can listen to, or I can look at the transcription of the voicemail, and then I've got facts further down. You'll also see this text here as well. We will have SMS support, I've been told, in first quarter of next calendar year. So you'll also be able to receive and send SMS messages direct from this. I'm just checking my time. I think I've got a couple of minutes, and then we've also got contact. It's fully integrated into Active Directory or any type of LDOT directory, but on here I can split that out. I can have company information, I can have personal, guests, and then I can split it out even further into teams, my teams, public teams, or archive teams. So I'm just going to stop sharing there. And on that, that is me completed with the demo. If there's any questions, please let me know. I think that was just in the time that was allotted, Scott.
That was perfect, David. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I do feel for you guys trying to get as much information in as around your company and product in the small amount of time we've given you, and you know there is a lot more to these companies, to these platforms, and the objective will be at the end of this that, you know, if you like what you hear, then we'll arrange a follow-up session either with one or all. Or another, depending on which way you feel you're going. But yeah, thanks for that, David.
Sorry, really, Scott, there was one question that's just come through on the chat, which I'll take, which is around Office 365 and Teams integration. Okay. So I know this got mentioned earlier, but we offer, I mentioned we got 250 integrations, which is standard as part of our license cost. Included in it, we offer true Office 365 integration, but we also include Teams integration. We have two different levels of Teams integration as well. If you're a customer that uses Teams and you've got no phone license, so E1, E3 with no phone, we have a bot integration where we use our soft client to drive that call, whether it's inbound and outbound. We also have Teams direct routing. So if you've got E3 with phone or E5, we can offer direct routing. So you use the Teams client as a single pane of glass. So from the Teams client, you start a call, you receive a call, and we fully support that on the ACO platform. The benefit of doing that you're not, I think Mark mentioned this earlier, you're not paying for an expensive Teams calling plan, but you also get all the analytics, the IVR setup, and also the 5 nines reliability of the system, which if you go with Teams natively, that drops down to 3 nines. So it's something that is part of our licensing model. We can work with any customer for whatever type of integration that's needed, and it's fully supported by Avaya.
Great. Thanks, David. Was there any more questions?
Nothing that I can see.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, it's great to see. You know, it's definitely the Avaya ACO is so much more than just Ring Central rebranded. You know, you're really bringing the Avaya twist to it with the additional features, functions, support, professional services. You know, I think it's great, and I think the market needs it for organizations out there that have got existing Avaya on-prem, wondering what they could do, this is a great option, and you know, we're really looking forward to supporting opportunities around this product. So
Brilliant. Thanks, Scott. But if there's any further questions, we can always take them offline or anything. If anybody wants to see anything more in depth, please let us know.
cool. So now we'll go on to Russell at Dialpad.
Thank you, Scott. Let me just pull my desktop up. Oh, that's interesting. Hang on a second. Why does it not want to share? Any ideas? Open privileges. Oh. Excuse me. Will it allow? There we go. It's all right. I just had to enable Ring Central. So it should work. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Perfect. Let's move you down here and present. Okay.
Perfect.
So, hi everyone, and thank you very much for your time. Appreciate being invited to join today. And obviously, I've got got something to follow with these two guys that presented really well. So, thank you for that. My camera isn't working, and so that's why I put a picture up so you can see who I am. So my name is Russell Bigg. I've been with Dialpad since we opened the doors in EMEA, which was just over 1.5 years ago, on an international expansion with the business. For those who don't know who Dialpad is, quite simply, we're a cloud-based business communications platform that actually delivers that truly unified solution for UCaaS and CCaaS, with the whole mantra in mind of working from anywhere, which everyone is doing now, which is great to see that people have been able to utilize these sort of tools. But effectively, Dialpad have had a history of disrupting and improving the communications market. We've been around, well, our founders have been around for quite a while. They created Yahoo Voice back in 2005, and then started a new company called Grand Central in 2007. Shortly afterwards was bought by Google and turned into Google Voice. So what you know today is for Google Voice was created by our founders. They since left that and created Dialpad with the view to taking what they'd learned over the years, cloud-based solution, pure cloud, built in the cloud, and with it a scalable and enterprise solution that catered for everyone in any type of business, improving their communications solution. Along the way, we purchased a company called TalkIQ, which basically in 2018, that they did real-time transcription analytics on using AI or machine learning. And ultimately, it gave us a game-changing opportunity to really reinvent the way that we went about with or go to market, but also opened up other verticals for us to get into, where voice was the key factor within everything they did. So companies that are utilizing, contact centers and the very basic needs could also have these unique advantages around machine learning and notifying, real-time recommendations, taking insights into conversations, making them a lot more effective, not just a phone call anymore. There's more of a conversation that you could utilize. So we took TalkIQ and employed that into our business and wrapped it onto our products, which we'll come to in a bit. More recently, we acquired a company called Hi5. Now, Hi5 have been in the market for a few years, but effectively they are a video conferencing as a service platform. They cater more for sort of room-based solutions, which isn't really ideal for offices now. But with the way that they can utilize their software and the integrations that they can do, you can really bolster the home office remote working solutions as well. So, and it has the ability to integrate into existing SIP-based software or hardware solutions. So we don't quite know how we're going to leverage it all yet, but ultimately it's a great opportunity to really scale and utilize the intelligence that they built into their product into Dialpad's offering. Dialpad is obviously one of the fastest growing companies. This is something that we built from a report. So we are growing very, very rapidly. And that's why, as Scott mentioned earlier, Gartner Magic Quadrant will be into another area of that, which I don't know exactly whereabouts on that grid will be, but we certainly moved up from our first go at it, which was last year, and we made visionary and quite high in there, basically because we are positioning ourselves as innovators. Now, you've heard it from others, but effectively, the whole cloud play is the most important thing now. Most companies are moving to the cloud in one shape or another. CRMs, help desks, and email is obviously key that they have today. But the phone telephony is being adopted a lot more, as you can imagine, and that will continue to rise. So there's a lot more emphasis on having integrations, having a single pane of glass to basically utilize a communications or stay connected with your team and your colleagues as well as your customers. Now we're in the third generation. You may or may not remember the first and the second gen. We're just sort of heading out of the second gen in some regards to some of our competition. But ultimately, first gen was built on premise, very expensive, very difficult to administrate. And then over time, we built that sort of mix of a cloud versus hosted and on-prem. And that obviously led us nicely into where we are today from the modern cloud. We were built post iPhone, which gives us that unique advantage being in the cloud, based in the cloud, and all our competition are slowly moving into that area or taking upon that element of cloud and hosting solutions. But it gives us that mobile first, any device, and also that single platform where people can utilize the product. One of our other key benefits is the fact that it's all self-service, so everyone, anyone can do their own changes from a user perspective, but from an admin perspective, you can change things real time and instantly utilizing the product. Just move this. Why is that not moving? Just to touch upon some of the integrations, the products, everyone's seen and heard a lot of different integrations today. We have open APIs for a lot of things. We have a lot of integrations straight out of the box, which everyone you can see listed here is straight out of the box. So there are other APIs that we can position and we can get utilizing for I guess custom built CRM solutions, exports and other things like that. Microsoft Dynamics is another one where we can utilize the APIs to configure, but we're actually building a lot more with our integrations especially around contact center and ticketing systems, and also that multi-channel or omni-channel piece, which seems to be very key now. So a lot of these, everything's anything web-based is click to call, so you have that functionality built in there. We have just recently launched Zoom integration, which basically means you can launch a Zoom video meeting directly from Dialpad application. So customers that are very keen on keeping that video experience on Zoom can continue to do that, and we can facilitate that flow, as well as single sign-on from Google and Microsoft Office 365. And we already have a Teams integration, but it's more for our product around Uber Conference, which is our own video solution, web-based video solution, but we will have very similar to what our colleagues are doing. Our competition out there, which is the direct routing piece, and that working out the Teams client and performing those. We will bring some uniqueness to that as well, so we won't be just direct routing. So look out for that as we move forward. We leverage a split cloud architecture. What does that mean? I guess you're asking. Well, we leverage Google Cloud Platform for everything other than voice. So we have our own data centers to do the voice transcoding and so we can pick up local points of presence in order to make those calls react and perform in a seamless and high quality manner. But the Google Cloud for us gives us that flexibility and ease of use from a deployment perspective, as well as any updates, API integrations, all the AI configuration we do, and obviously different devices and how each one of our devices is aware of each other because they're all registered via the cloud. So end users don't get any disruption to utilizing that service, no matter what platform they're utilizing. So these are the products. So effectively, it's built your own way. And what we mean by that is Dialpad Talk is our UC a UCaaS offering, and we build onto that. So for anything telephony, cloud PBX solution, and looking at instant messaging as well as presence and all the other integrations, that's all out of the box and in Dialpad Talk. We then layer onto that an element of contact center. So you would get Dialpad Talk as well as the contact center with a lot more features and functionality, and there's too many to go through today. But imagine a world where you could seamlessly log into your device and have the ability to take calls anywhere, but also leveraging AI to make those calls more intelligent, support your contact center agents, agents remotely, as well as read how those calls are actually going there and then. So that real-time transcription and sentiment analysis. That's our key differentiator, and we leverage that and lay that onto our contact center product as well. And then we move into Dialpad Sell, which effectively is an extension of contact center, but it's designed more about a sales enablement, sales dialer type function. So automatic voicemail drop, coaching groups, things like that, which will help enable your salespeople to be more productive, have better quality of calls, ramp up time for agents and things like that is all part of what we're doing here. Our goal is to make sure that you make your users and your employees more effective in their day-to-day jobs, no matter where they are. We layer on Uber Conference. That's our fourth product. It is a video conferencing solution. It fully integrates in what we're doing. It's that multi-screen share, video and voice solution, and we offer it as part of a free part to all of our products that we have listed here. So just to cover a few things, and I know I'm rattling on quickly because there's quite a bit to get on, but effectively we work on any device. So using devices you're already used to, whether that's iPhones or Android, iOS devices, iPads, etc., as well as laptops, desktops, PCs. Where we are unique in some regards is because it's a WebRTC based. We've got a WebRTC based application, which is exactly the same as the desktop app and mobile app, so it works seamlessly on Chromebook. So if customers are using Chromebooks, that's ideal for us because we can support that fully. But ultimately, you can have simultaneous ringing, switch between devices very simply and easily. As I mentioned, call analytics are key. We have ways of picking out keywords, moments, agent behavior, purely based on AI and the type of call that they're having. So you have the ability to report on this from analytics, export, but also have a full deep dive. And we're adding different messaging tabs different tabs to this, so you can really drill down into each and every call, each and every agent, each and every user, and make them more productive on a day-to-day basis. Coaching your team, again, as I touched upon, have that ability to monitor those calls remotely. You can see that live sentiment and track that, so you can see how calls are going and check out different service levels and see how they're performing, as well as looking at those live transcriptions and keyword-based assistant, which is really where if a customer of yours has said, I'm not happy with service, or how do you rate to your competition, or anything that would trigger a keyword or phrase, that would pop up with a recommendation to the agent screen, and therefore they will be able to read what's written on there. And it's completely entirely up to you what you put on those and what keywords you use, but ultimately it will give that agent or that salesperson or that individual the ability to respond back to that objection quickly and easily. Scale at your own pace. So it is a self-based, self-serve product, so you can add people from an Active Directory, or you can do people just via emails, or whatever way works for you. We have professional services to support you, but pretty much 9 times out of 10 it's that easy that users just get on with it and don't bother with our professional services. Obviously we'd like to support in that way, but we don't need to necessarily for the majority of customers that we have. Couple of little highlights here. So, Education First, very much a global company, have a very large footprint in Europe. We gave, this is from them, a message about them. I won't read it out to you, but ultimately we were able to combine all forms of communication in one place for them. And that gave them, made sure that they were utilizing the right platform, and all their end user experience was a lot more efficient. So going back to that point, making sure that we maximize the employees and what they do in their day-to-day jobs, as well as keeping them connected, is key to everything we do. So last bit, I think that's it. Yeah, okay. So the last part here is just about a few further customers here. We've added a couple of new ones in here, and I've been trying to find the right logos and put them in. But effectively, you know, we cover, well, the way that we're built. Obviously, a lot of customers start with us small and grow, and we're quick to scale. So that's an ideal way that we perform and why we win. But also, you know, disruptive technology and very much cloud-based technology companies are very much our bread and butter. So we just recently won Twitter. We're about to launch a big press release around that. So that's a huge thing for us. But, you know, other ones that you would have heard of, Uber and WeWork and other things like that. These guys, you know, see the value of replacing on-prem, see the value of having that connectivity remotely, and also the value of what Dialpad can bring from an artificial intelligence as well as other elements to our product set. So that is it from me as an overview. I'm sure there might be some questions. If not, we can take some offline, but I wanted to thank you there and open up any questions.
Perfect. Thank you, Russell.
I'll stop sharing somehow now.
Yeah, that's me after that. Yeah, thank you, Russell. That was really good. You know, I think, you know, touched on some really salient points there. And one of the biggest challenges we have been seeing over the last few months is where individuals are trying to work from home, and they're just simply not able to access the phone system because it's a historical on-prem PBX. You know, by having mobile access, by having tablet access, laptop access, you're just creating this extension of your office out to the home workers. And it just changes the whole environment you work in. You're not only extending your phone system, but your file sharing capabilities, and then effectively, you know, you've got all the features and functions you had from being in the office. So, you know, it's great to see that Dialpad have all of those options. I know we're sort of right on the button now, but we're lucky enough to have Shane from Talaris on, business development head for UCAS. Shane, did you want to sort of say anything before we kind of wrap up?
I'll be quick. Scott, once again, you've done a great job curating 3 fantastic suppliers. Globally, we're seeing a lot of success with each of these. I think as a whole, if you take away anything from this, it's the number one, UC and the entire technology stack is becoming a more integral part to not just small, medium-sized businesses, but enterprise-level companies. And secondly, the Microsoft Teams conversation continues to grow. The native integration, the direct routing is becoming more and more critical, and we're finding that suppliers who do this well, who have figured it out, are having success with it. I will say, as an asterisk to that point, however, that the Microsoft conversation at times is a great lead generation conversation for opportunities that end up pivoting outside of Microsoft Teams because of some inherent cost issues. You'll also notice that with these suppliers, and another critical point within the conversation is that consolidation of suppliers and making sure that you partner with somebody who has all of the technologies available. You know, the combination of UC and CC platforms is fantastic. It makes for a much easier user experience. And not to mention the integrations like Dialpad was just talking about with the other types of technology stacks that your customer is using is critical. So fantastic job to everybody. And Scott, once again, great job in getting this together.
Great. Thanks a lot, Shane. Thanks for that. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining and taking the time out of your day. I will follow up with you all individually after this to get your thoughts on it, and just to see whether there are any avenues that you want to pursue further. So thank you to all the presenters, and thank you all for attending, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Good day. Bye-bye.
So I just missed the question at the end there.
What's the question?
Wasn't,
I jump off?
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Right,
Cheers. Cheers for that. Yeah, thanks. It was, yeah, do all 3 solutions, soft phones, work on Linux desktops, as well as PC, Mac, and mobile? We always have trouble with Linux. It's a good question.
Don't know.
I'll take it away and come back to him. It was from Mark.
Yeah, good turnout.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, almost 100%. Well, the two that didn't come, well, there was three that didn't come actually. One of them was based in South Africa. I didn't think they would come anyway. One of them told me he couldn't come,
Right.
and then the other ones obviously just couldn't make it, which is the norm. So yeah, it was good to see actually. Mark, who's Mark? There's only one Mark, isn't it? Right, I need to get back to him. Yeah, that was good.
Really good. Well.
All right. Yeah, I've got another call on here in about half an hour, so I'm going to kick everyone off.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Have a good one. See you,
I'll speak to you later. Cheers, bye.
Bye.